Any questions for Arslan Beck? Congratulations on a win tonight. Any questions, guys?
How much respect do you have for Dave Allen? He just kept coming forward, never took a backward step. And did he have you in major trouble at any point?
Brothers, guys, thank you very much. This guy was impressed me a lot because, listen, I from kid time when I fight in the street, I have confidence for one thing. When I go in a fight, I fight with big guys. I don't care. I have one thing. I know myself. I say myself, if I touch him very big, he don't want to fight with me. And most of people like that. You punch him hard because I have power, and that you see is like change your mind. This guy doesn't. But this guy doesn't work. I was so surprised because 12 rounds, I sent him bomb. You saw it, yeah? I sent him bomb, but my coach told me, Marco told me, yeah, this guy like have balls, but no have technique. You just boxing in 6 rounds, you're gonna stop him. I think, you know what I think myself? Okay. I said, okay, I will stop him first round. You know, better than me. But I didn't stop him even 12 rounds. That's why yeah, I'm really impressed. I think it's iron chin. I don't know. It's not normal.
You want Anthony Joshua next as well. How do you see that fight going if it happens? Do you feel like you could knock him out?
I never said I'm gonna go and knock him out because you see today, it's not every time happen. It's maybe not happen. Maybe he knock him out too. But the thing is, why is fighting crazy for me? First of all, we have like same. Can you imagine? Same tall, same weight, same age. He have couple lows, I have couple lows. And what I'm interesting, I follow him. We are from amateur background. He have lose in European Championship. One guy, I don't want to say names, in World Championship. But the thing is, interesting. I beat this guy after that. After he lose, I beat them. For me, it's interesting. You lose this guy, 2 guys, not 1 guy. 1 Romanian guys, and Azerbaijan guys. I beat these guys, but this guys, one is best in the world, was amateur, world champion, European champion. But I beat this guy, he lose this guy. That's why for me, it interesting fight with Anthony Joshua. As a sport, I respect him. I spoke with him already in Instagram. I respect him a lot. I respect even David Allen because people think I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But before fight, I cannot smile, you know, like they do it. Maybe for me it's okay. I cannot like be friend because I know we go kill each other, brother. We go kill each other. Why you have to be friend? After fight, yes, you might best friend. But before fight, enemy. Sorry, guys. Because we go, I understand we go nothing like personal, but we go for competition. We go for bring food in the table. We are not for because we are millionaires. No, we are poor guys. I'm from like I don't say a poor guy family, but from simple humble family. You know. That's why we are fighting for bringing food for our family. You know.
Awesome, congratulations. Does the win tonight feel sweeter after coming off? Obviously, you had that comeback win, but obviously a big win on the big stage. Does it feel sweeter after coming off those losses?
What's your question, bro?
So, is the win not a nicer feeling after coming off those losses on those big stages? Obviously, it was a big win tonight.
Yeah, brother, it's biggest win in my life. I feel that. I said before fight, it's fight my life. My coach told me, thank you very much for him for believe me, because I know I did a couple of loss, but not everyone like always win. I know what I have mistake. If I lost, I don't say coach you mistake. No, I say you myself. I said you I train before 2 times a day, and I think it's enough. I said, you lose, go 3 times a day train. And this year, I was training 3 times a day. My training starts 6 o'clock morning, guys, first day. And I started working for boxing skills, 10 rounds. After that, I go for condition training. After afternoon, I go for boxing training. Every day, guys, every day. Can you imagine? That's my life. Because I said myself, you do everything. And after that, if you win. If not win, but you're gonna be nothing to say yourself, you because of you was lazy, you was doing nothing. I cannot hate myself. This is for me important because I'm kind of this guy. Ambition, my ambitions. If I do everything, and after that, I don't care, lose or win, because I say myself, everything, relax. I confidence myself. I said, relax, you did everything. That's my philosophy.
Makhmudov, that was a super hard fight in there. You were like Google at times. You had all of the answers. Did you think that it was a harder fight than you expected it to be? Was Alan a tougher opponent than you expected it to be? The fight seemed closer than the scorecard suggested.
No, I didn't think it was going to be like hard like that. First of all, fight should be. I did my camp for 10 rounds. I never did even sparring for 12 rounds.
Attention, please. The arena floor is now a hard hat zone. The arena floor is now a hard hat zone.
Well, you certainly.
So I never did even 12 rounds in sparring, brother. Can you imagine? Sparring, I never did 12. I did 10. And when I arrived here, my coach told me, Sambek, maybe fight gonna be 12. Okay, it looks strange. And after I realized maybe because in UK, sorry guys, they always do the same thing, like it's like cheating. I don't know what. And I think maybe they do something strange like that. But I said myself, it's my fight for my life. I'm gonna die. But the 12 round or 20 round, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna die, inshallah, if it's need to die. I'm gonna fight. And last 2 round, it wasn't bad, It's good experience.
Needed a hard hat. You certainly needed a hard hat from some of those haymakers that he was throwing. Those overhand rights were connecting on you, and it was, testament to your chin. It was marble.
Yes, he tested my chin. Because I think I have no bad chin. My coach told me. I don't know, but my coach told you good chin. One day, I was why he said that. I receive a couple punch. I feel it's a good heavy punch. But I give him crazy also punch, but doesn't work. He should for normal guy should stop, should sleep, but not this guy. That's why I respect him. This guy Lion. I said I fight you Lion, because my name is Lion. I treat myself like Lion, but this guy Lion too.
Also, congratulations there. Just a quick one for Frank. Frank, what is next for Dave?
For Dave, he will be, we'll get him back in the ring. When you have nights like this and you create atmospheres like this, he can be involved in any big fight he wants to be. He's a lot talking about the British title, that's a massive fight. There's lots of opportunities for Dave. Obviously, with Arslan Beck, we'll be working together with the Eye of the Tiger management team to get a big fight for him next. He deserves a huge opportunity. I've said boxing's such a fickle sport where people write fighters off, especially in heavyweight boxing. Fighters lose and they're written off like it's the end. When you see him in there tonight, you see the performance he put in. He has so much more left to offer the sport, and he will be involved in big fights. So for both guys, they deserve all the credit. And they'll definitely, both of them will be involved in massive nights to come, because when you have performances like that, when you show heart, dedication to the sport like that, they're going to get the opportunities.
Is the priority for Dave the British now looking towards that?
I think for Dave, yeah, he would love to win the British title. He spoke about bridgerweight. I'm not sure he realised it was 41 pounds lighter than the weight he came in at. But yeah, I think for Dave, he'd love to win that. But as I said, when you have nights like that and you're involved in fights like that, there's really no end to the opportunities you can get, because people want to watch fights like that. People want to watch fighters who give their all in the ring, and both of the guys did that tonight.
Is the Wilder fight completely off the cards?
Boxing's a crazy sport. Who knows what happens next? You know, especially heavyweight boxing. You know, big fights are out there for heavyweights. A lot of fighters don't want to take challenges, don't want to take chances, don't want to risk themselves in the division. You know, and again, I go back to both guys because Arslanbek's here. You know, he won tonight, but they're both going to get big opportunities, and that, you know, for both of them, will work very hard to deliver the best possible fights out there.
Arslanbek, congratulations. Being on the other side of the UK crowd tonight, how did that make you feel coming into a packed Sheffield?
Yes, guys, first time in my life in the UK. I was in around the world, around 20 countries, but never been in the UK. I was very excited and very happy to be here. I see people here really love boxing, really, because it's home boxing, you know, understand boxing. That's why I had a dream to fight here, because I know I have a lot of fans here, and I hope so. Like I said, after this fight, I think that Dave's fans are gonna below me. I hope so.
Frank, Junaid Bostan lost tonight. In the past, Eddie's said that we don't work with the level of fighters that fail at English title level. What's next for him?
Look, I think when you show heart like Junaid Bostan did, you know, he came out after that third round, how he kept up in the third round and came back up like, you know, nothing had happened, was quite sensational. He's matured a lot, he's come a long way in the sport, and I think, you know, look, the trilogy's a massive fight as well, you know, so we want to see great fights and we want to see people test themselves, and that's what Junaid Bostan did. He didn't have to take the rematch at his age, but he wanted to do it, he wanted to test himself, and you saw an improved performance.
What's next for?
Sorry, I was just going to say before, because obviously he's had a long night.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to hold him here listening to questions about other people, so we'll focus on any questions for the big man, and then we'll move on to anyone else.
Arslanbek, so can I just ask, did you learn anything new about yourself in there tonight?
I learned one thing, guys. If you really want something, you can get it. I know this, and not I get it this. I know if you want something, you ask God, and you do everything for that. Ask Him and give you. This is my win, not I win. I will lie. I swear to God, it's God my giving for this win, because I ask Him, my parents ask Him, my family ask Him, my friends ask Him, Allah, my close people, so much ask God. It's not I win. God give me this win. Allah.
Good. How do you assess Arslanbek's performance tonight?
But yes. Okay. Before we came here, we knew that it was going to be a tough fight. Right? We have a lot of respect for Haaland. Like, he's a tough guy, real tough guy, and we expect this kind of fight. I think we prepared well. I think it was a good performance. Of course, there was some stuff that we can take and go back to the gym and try to be better. Nobody's perfect, but I think we have material right now to go back to the gym and to work to get to involve as a fighter, to be better for next time.
Now, what do you want to see from him next?
Pardon me?
What do you want to see from him next?
Well, you know, like you say, it's the first time we fight 12 rounds, management of time, of energy. It's a little bit of new stuff for him, but you can do that in sparring day after day. When you come to the fight and with the pressure and everything, it's not exactly the same. You have to live that experience. And now that he had, we can again go back to the gym and try to be better boxer.
Just one more question for Arslanbek.
Arslanbek, if it's not Anthony Joshua next, are there any opponents that you would like to face next?
Honestly, I just want Anthony Joshua. I know this guy. We did make a deal already, like I said, and like it's my dream fight. That's why. From this moment, for now, of course, I need now go home, rest, see my family. But even before fight, I don't think about this. I think what was very focused. I say myself, it's to fight your life. But next step is Joshua. That's it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Do you want me to stay?
Yeah, do that for a few more minutes.
Guys, Dave's not going to join us. He's just still being medically checked. So, any more questions?
Bilal Fawaz,
Yeah.
have you got any options on him now?
Yeah, you know, we worked with Bilal Fawaz before and to make this fight happen, and you know we can continue to work for him. As I said earlier, I think the rematch is a fight, providing Junaid is interested in it. It's a fight that makes a lot of sense. You know, the first two fights were tremendous. I say again, Junaid showed so many improvements. So you know, really be led by what he's thinking as well. But that would be a massive fight. You know, that's a fight that could arguably headline a show as well. You saw the atmosphere that was generated in here for that. You know, we had close to 10,000 people in here at that point watching that show. And yeah, all respect to both guys, and you know, especially to Junaid as well, jumping straight back in there where many people probably wouldn't have thought he would have done it.
Reece Sporty, Josh Padley. A lot of people disagree with the scorecards. What's your take on that?
I always say I'm always very open. I'm not an expert scorer, hence why I work on this side and I'm not a judge. I think, you know, if a fight's close and you lose by a round, you can't argue. I think ultimately the scorecards were far too wide, and we say it time and time again, how do we change things in this sport? And there needs to be change, and then it needs to be looked at. You know, at least reviewed and answered. It needs to be answers as to why was it scored like that. They may give reasons that, you know, you accept or disagree with, but I do think it has to be looked at. You know, Reece has still got opportunities to come back. You know, we had the Ghana fight 11 weeks ago, jumped straight back in there into this fight. He's still got opportunities in the sport. I'm sure he'll be frustrated now, but he'll look at what's next for him.
Do you think a rematch is unlikely between the pair of them?
I'm not counting it out, but I think so. I think it is. But again, anything in boxing seems to be possible.
And Hamza Udin tonight, sensational win to pick up his first two titles as a pro.
Yeah, 100%. You know, he closed the show. You know, it's all good looking, skillful and sharp. But he went in there and he closed the show with a brilliant performance. Sets himself up brilliantly for fights ahead. You know, we're looking to do a show, as many people know, in the Midlands later part of this year. If his hand's in a good place, I think he may have hurt his hand slightly, then he'll be on there. If not, we'll get him out early part of next year.
The flyweight division isn't exactly stacked with fighters. Do you think he could jump he's got the English now, do you think he'd jump straight into that British title shot?
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's got the opportunity to do that. I think he's someone who needs to move fast as well. I think he's someone who's going to show his skill and ability as he moves up the ranks.
You had your eyes on Josh Warrington. If Josh Padley was to get through tonight, with his performance, do you think he could beat Josh Warrington?
I think it's a great fight. Hence why we said it. Look, I think every fight, you can compare performances of every fighter to the next. But I think, you know, each fight is going to be different and individual. I think that's a great fight. If we can make it happen, it's a huge fight in Yorkshire, but let's see.
Any more?
No?
Wonderful. I'm sorry.
Oh, go on.
Was it Artur Beterbiev has been reported that he's out of his fight on November the 22nd. Is it likely that we could see them jump straight into the Bivol trilogy?
It's the first I've heard of it, to be honest. I didn't know that. That's the Bivol Beterbiev fight. The trilogy is huge. The first two were brilliant fights. It's a fight lots of people would want to see again, providing it makes sense for the fighters. But I honestly don't know about the Beterbiev situation.
Cheers, Frank.
No problem.
Frank, how do you see the Eubank Jr. versus Ben fight going? Can we have a round? Can we have a method? Can we have a prediction from you?
No, you can't, because I'll get in trouble either way I say anything. As I said, look, two men are going to get in the ring. The best man's going to win. It doesn't really matter what my opinion is on the fight. I obviously represent Connor, but I have very close links to Team Eubank. I think it will be a brilliant fight. I think it will round 1 of that fight will be like round 13 of the last. I think the experience will play a difference in this fight. I don't think Conor's ever had the experience of a fight like that. He's never been the rounds. He's never been in a fight anywhere near that type of night. There was a lot of pressure on him. It had been built up over 3 years, that fight. But Chris has been in big nights as well. He's the bigger man, as we saw in that fight as well. He was a much bigger man in the ring. But it'll be no different. It'll be a tremendous fight. From round 1 onwards, it'll be like round 13. I can't wait to watch it. Don't miss it. All live and exclusive on DAZN.
But did the rehydration clause that had Eubank Jr. looking like Skeletor in there at times, do you think that's going to play a factor in the second fight with, a little bit older, a little bit dehydrated still? Yeah,
look, that's one thing I can comment on is the narrative of, the second day weigh-in that he had. He weighed in well under the 170 limit on the second day. I think he, off the top of my head, if I get this wrong, it was a few months ago. I have a lot going on. I think he was 167.6. If you were someone really stretching yourself on that, you would weigh in at 170. Like that's the reality of it. The key is the 160 weight he missed. He didn't miss the rehydration weight or the second day weigh-in. He missed the 160. The weight that he is naturally at. He posted the videos of him making weight because it's a narrative, he likes to push. And then you have an interview with me and his manager who says, 160 is fine. Because every fight he'd ever take is at 160. Every fight he was talking about was at 160. It wasn't about the weight, but obviously they're all about narrative. They're brilliant at telling stories. That's what Chris is great at. One thing I will always commend Chris on is he is a brilliant storyteller, but people forget that Conor is a much smaller man. Conor started this camp at 156 pounds. He could make 147 still. And that's why he aims to go back to 147 after this fight and challenge for a world title. So you can create narrative any which way you want, can't you? If you're on that side of the fence, you say, no, it's like Conor's making the big jump. That's the sport we're in. We're all about people creating narrative, and that's why you're still talking about it now. And that's no disrespect, just like everyone is.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Frank, I know you've got options on Dave, even with the defeat. You're now up to steering towards a trilogy with Johnny Fisher.
I mean, look, we will always look to do what's best. We'll also be working with Arsenal moving forward as well. He's got the opportunity to go into big fights, as I said earlier. With Dave, he said to me in the ring, do you think people will still come out for me? I was like, of course, look at these people, they love you. They love him because of who he is. Results are indifferent. When you take challenges, when you test yourself to be the best, people have more respect for you. As I say so many times, there's so many fighters who wouldn't do that. For Dave, I think he needs some time resting. I said to him in the ring though, stay the way you've been, don't let yourself go, because his application to the trade of boxing over the last 9 months has been amazing to see. He's completely changed his life, and I want him to keep like that, regardless of whether he wants to, what fight he wants to go into, whatever he wants to do. From a mental perspective, I've never seen Dave Allen like it, and it's good to see good people in a good place, and that's what Dave Allen is. So let's see, have some rest first, and then think about what's next.
Could you tell us a little bit about how unique of a character Dave is, with the path that he's had and the defeats that he's had, to be able to come and sell this many tickets and get a crowd going like that? It's really unique, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But it's also like, and I say this, Derek Chisora is a close friend of mine away from boxing as well. Like someone I've grown very close with. Him and Dave Allen, similar. Derek's had 10 losses. I think Dave's had 8 now and a couple of draws. The truth is, and this is what we have to change with the sport, and I think this is what is changing. Losses should be irrelevant. It should be, did you go out there? Did you give it all? Did you put it on the line? Did you test yourself to the best of your ability? Yes, I did. Happy days, and that's why nights like this you see, because people have respect for him. He had loads of other names he could have fought, but he wanted to test himself. He wanted to go in there against great fighters, and again come back to it's such a fickle sport where Arsenback is sort of, he lost against this person, he's finished. No, that's boxing. That's sport. Why should we know the result of every fight? And as we got to last night, everyone's thinking Dave could do it. Oh, this guy's a huge luck. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it's unique, but it shouldn't be unique. That's the reality of it.
Frank, Giorgio Vizioli's just picked up another unanimous decision win. What could potentially be next? The titles next for Vizioli?
Yeah, we're actually looking for him to headline before the end of the year. I haven't seen the performance. I haven't seen. Make sure he's all no injuries, but that's the plan. Vizioli is a brilliant fighter. And really coming out of himself as well and building, a real profile for himself, and he's got a great personality. So the key is with him is moving up now. This was supposed to be a real test for him. So again, I haven't watched the fight, so I couldn't tell you about it.
80-73.
There you go. I mean, everyone was saying, it was a real test for him out there. So yeah, the aim will be for him to headline before the year's out.
What type of opponents could we see him in next? Domestic level opponents?
Yeah, I think so. Domestic level opponents. He's in a great position as well, where as he looks to progress and move on, look at him out there as well with Zaquin Moses. There's talk of Kerwin Walton as well, who he was sparring with. There's so many opportunities for these fighters, and they're really in a position now where they're going to, move very quickly because they're too good. All right. Love the clap. Thanks very much.
Well done, Frank.
Thanks. Cheers. Thanks all. Thanks for coming.